Hey, minimum effort here, hope you're all doing well. This week's news card is Deafening Chord. This is a 1-cost skill which has the on reveal of afflict an enemy character here that costs 3 or less with -1 power and remove its text. So it's kind of like a Red Guardian, but it's a skill instead. So you're missing out on that physical body on the board of a Red Guardian, plus it's a random target of any card that is 3 or less cost. So I'm not sure if it's as good as Red Guardian. I think sometimes it's better to have that body on the board, but also it's that target that you want to hit. If there are a few 3-cost cards in that lane and there's one you want to hit, obviously you've got less chance of hitting the one you want to. Whereas if that card has the lowest power, Red Guardian targets that one straight away. But Deafening Chord is very, very useful. One of the reasons for that is because it is a skill. Now, what we know about skills is obviously they banish themselves after you play them, which means it's going to work really well as a tech option in a zombies deck, because if you play it on top of Zombie Scarlet Witch, you're adding power to your Horde, as well as playing tech and affecting some of your opponent's cards, and getting the effects of it and leaving a space on the board for more cards to be played. So I've put Deafening Chord into this deck, which is called Deaf Proof, because obviously it's Deafening Chord, and Deaf Proof because we're playing zombies, and zombies are Deaf Proof, kind of, unless you shoot them in the head. But this is a fun deck. Like, we went 6 and 4 with this deck, had a nice run with it, plus 7 cubes. I think there's something here. I think we need to just find the right balance of cards. The reason for that is, of course, we're playing Agamotto. We want those skills, we want those extra energy with Bolts of Ballsack in particular, but also Images of Ikonn is a really good card in this deck. Now, one of the main combos you'll see from the gameplay highlights is that what you're able to do is, if you play Zombie Giant Man on turn 5, obviously hopefully you've buffed your Horde quite a lot already, that's great. But you can play Zombie Giant Man on turn 5 into the left or the right lane, depending on obviously how your board is set up. But you want to kind of bear that in mind, that's where you want to play Zombie Giant Man if you can. Because what that then means is that on turn 6, you can play potentially Images of Ikonn into your Horde lane, if your Horde is big enough and there are other cards there. Sometimes you only need one other card with the Horde, and if that's something like a King Eitri, that's actually pretty good. Obviously you can't choose where the Horde goes, but you can kind of work around it if you have the energy to play those cards, or hope the Horde ends up in that lane with one of your cards. But yeah, turn 6, you play Images of Ikonn into that lane with the Horde, to turn them into as many cards as you can into Hordes, and then you're playing Grandmaster onto Zombie Giant Man to get the buff from him again. That's obviously then going to buff both Hordes that you now have on the board, so it's giving both of them extra power. Zombie Giant Man will only take the buff from one of the Hordes, not from both, even though in the animations it looks like that's what he's trying to do, but he's only going to get that. But it's a double buff on Zombie Giant Man with this. It might be slightly cope. Grandmaster might be the card that you think, okay, maybe I need to take that out, but you have potential for Grandmaster with Zombie Sentry if you've got a lane built up on the right that you can maybe hit the Horde again with that Grandmaster playing that into that lane to move the Zombie Sentry out. Zombie Mist Fantastic is the other on reveal that you have. That is a physical card that you can activate with Grandmaster. It works really well, like you'll see in the gameplay highlights, we get that combo and it works really nicely, that's really good. But there are other ways to get power in this deck. We have Werewolf By Night, because obviously we're playing a lot of skills with on reveals that we can play around the board, and we can get Werewolf By Night to move and gain power. In one of the games, we actually play Images of Ikonn into a Werewolf By Night lane where there's 2 other cards, and we get 3 Werewolves By Night, and then we play a lot of skills on the final turn to move stuff around, and it just goes off. It's a lot of power, really fun. But yeah, it was just very fun to see that many Werewolves By Night moving around. It was really good. And then of course Agamotto himself, if you can get a buff from the Temporal Manipulation, it goes to 513, but if you hit that with Joaquin Torres Falcon, it goes to a 516, and obviously you're getting Agamotto out of your deck. One of the main problems with this deck is obviously with those extra spells from Agamotto, it reduces your chance to hit the kind of the cards that you maybe need and that's kind of where we lost the game, because we were hoping we need to draw Zombie Giant Man because we've built up our Horde very nicely, but we don't have enough power in the other lane to win it, and yeah, we needed that card to be drawn. So that is the one downfall of this deck, but I think we keep Agamotto because I love having the extra energy from Bolts of Ballsack. I love having Images of Ikonn, like I've said. It gives you a lot of options. So let's just run through the deck quickly. Deafening Chord, like I say, this is your tech option in this deck. Yes, it's a kind of a random target, but if they drop something early and you can target it with Deafening Chord, that's obviously a good thing to do. Joaquin, Torres, Falcon gives this a double hit as well, a double chance to hit something if it's in that lane. Gives it the chance to kind of remove that text. That is another thing to consider with Deafening Chord. Hunger, because obviously, yes, we want to get that Horde built up as nicely as possible. Joaquin Torres with the Falcon instantly makes that Horde 6 power. That's really, really good start. King Eitri is great because, like I say, King Eitri activating a card, drawing one of Agamotto's spells out of your hand is great because we pretty much could use any of those spells. They're all really good in this deck. But then also, like I say, King Eitri is another potential body that you can either polymorph with a Merlin spell. You can once and future to get King Eitri off the board and get extra energy. That's another way that actually on turn 6, if you have built up your Horde into game-winning power in one lane, turn 6 you can play Zombie Giant Man with Grandmaster because you have that extra energy. You can do that as well. So yeah, King Eitri is probably the best cards to hit with that. So King Eitri has a lot of functionality outside of his activate, which is really good. Joaquin Torres Falcon, because we have a lot of these one-cost skills that are really useful to us. So yeah, Joaquin Torres Falcon, if you play him in a lane with Zombie Scarlet Witch, that is a nice way to kind of get that Horde, a lot of power, but then also get those extra effects from Deafening Chord and like a double effect on Agamotto, a 5/16 that is then in your hand, is really, really useful. So yeah, Joaquin Torres Falcon. I think we're very close to having Joaquin Torres Falcon having a real moment in the meta because there's more and more one-cost skill cards coming out, and I think, especially with Prowler as well, I think his effects are the things he draws, the Thief's Tools. I think they're skills as well. So Joaquin Torres Falcon in that deck might actually be very useful because yes, those cards will be 1 cost, potentially reduced to 0 cost, but I believe they will still work with Joaquin Torres Falcon because it's the capital C on the cost for those. So I think that will still work. I think I might test that for next week with Prowler as well. So yeah, Joaquin Torres Falcon I think is a very important card at the moment and in the future. Zombie Mr. Fantastic, obviously fantastic for getting that power on the Horde, getting the Horde on the board. If you can try to predict, obviously, with locations and everything, where you would like the Horde to go. It doesn't always go where you want it, but then you have to kind of work with it. But yeah, Zombie Mr. Fantastic, very, very key card in this deck. Getting that +2 on the Horde, the activate, giving it extra power. If you have 2 Hordes or more from Images of Ikonn and you activate, they're all going to get +1 power as well, so that's very good too. And then Grandmaster, yeah, like I say, he's mostly here for the Zombie Giant Man double hits, but yeah, he does have a couple of other options in this deck to hit as well, like Zombie Sentry I think would be the main one, but yeah, potentially he's the 12th card in this deck, but I like what he does, and you'll see in the gameplay highlights he enables a lot of power to be on the board if you can hit that combo. So yeah, I also really like this Dan Hip variant on it looks really cool. So yeah, Grandmaster. And then Merlin, because Merlin giving you those spells is very useful. Like I say, we've already said about Once and Future being able to hit that turn 7 combo, the turn 6 combo with more than 6 energy. Very, very useful. Polymorph is here because sometimes if you have Joaquin Torres Falcon in a lane and you have your other cards in there, which is Zombie Scarlet Witch, which is a 3/4, it's not bad rates. Maybe you've got Zombie Mr. Fantastic in there as well. If you drop a polymorph into that lane with them, you're going to get obviously a double hit from the polymorph because it's a 1-cost skill, and that will hit Joaquin Torres Falcon, turn it into a 3-cost card, and then it will also hit whatever card is next with the lowest power, which is probably going to be Zombie Mr. Fantastic, so we'll turn him into a 3-cost card as well. So then suddenly from this lane where you haven't got a lot of power, you've suddenly boosted it and you've got more power in that lane. Obviously that gets rid of the Joaquin, Torres, Falcon, so you need to be thinking about when you're playing this, do you have anything else you can play into that lane in final turns or following turns. But yeah, it's just another option to get extra power on the board. Omniversal Presence is also great because there's quite a lot of magic at the moment going around. Omniversal Presence is great for turning that off. Obviously you can time that on turn 6 with a Zombie Giant Man and Omniversal Presence, and it gives that Merlin extra power as well. So yeah, Merlin, one of the best cards in the game for me at the moment. Really, really useful. Really good in this deck as well with those spells. They're not often playing those into the Zombie Scarlet Witch lane, but they're useful for the other cards that you have on the board. So yeah, really like Merlin. Werewolf by Night, like I say, sometimes it's a bit clunky to get all the on reveals spread out on the board in the right place. But obviously because some of them are skills, it does make that easier because he can move into those lanes even if the skill's the 4th card in that lane because it banishes itself. But yeah, like you see in the gameplay highlights, like Werewolf by Night, bouncing around the board, getting up lots of power is a really good option in this deck. So yeah, Werewolf by Night, very, very good card here. And yeah, Zombie Scarlet Witch is probably the card we want to draw the most because I think we have a lot of cards we can play into her lane. We have a lot of ways to play skills, banish them out, and leave that space for more cards to be played into it. And every time we're doing it, we're given the Horde +2 power. So yeah, Zombie Scarlet Witch is fantastic in this deck, and it's a Rion Gonzalez variant, which I absolutely love. Looks really, really cool. So yeah, love this card at the moment. Zombie Sentry. Yeah, like I say, if you build that lane with Zombie Scarlet Witch, Joaquin, Torres, Falcon, Zombie Mr. Fantastic in the right lane, Zombie Sentry has a great chance to buff your Horde even further, and as well as potentially being a target for the Grandmaster hit as well. So yeah, Zombie Sentry, a good addition to this deck. You can potentially get by without it, but it does mean you're relying on getting your Zombie Scarlet Witch and your other Horde activators on the board already, and it is a bit harder to do with the extra Agamotto skills in your deck. So I like having Zombie Sentry because it's the extra option for getting those cards and power on the board. So yeah, like this card. And then Zombie Giant Man, he's obviously your big finisher that you want, but you can win without him. You can win without him if you have big Agamotto, like if you get the double hit on Agamotto, that's great for 16 power, that's really good. And you have werewolf stuff, you can do that as well to win. That's your alternate way of winning. But Zombie Giant Man can get so big in this deck because we're trying to pump that Horde as much as possible. And yeah, if you can do the Grandmaster hit on it to get the double hit, that is a really, really chunky Zombie Giant Man that you're looking at. So yeah, really like him here. And then Agamotto, because yeah, obviously the chance to have a 513, potentially a 516, is so good. You can't say no to that. That's such good power. Like there aren't many 6-cost cards that can have that power. So yeah, if you're able to do that, that's obviously great. Agamotto giving you those extra spells that have so much functionality in this deck really, really works. Obviously with the potential downside of blocking drawing the cards that you can get. But as you'll see in these highlights, we got a lot of good draws. We were able to play our combos. We were able to win a lot of games. I think you could probably fine-tune this deck a little bit more. I'm kind of happy with where it is though, but I'm not totally sure on what else you could potentially put in for Grandmaster. Like you could put in Kitty Pryde potentially as a replacement to continually play that card into the Zombie Scarlet Witch. That's something that you could do. So yeah, that might be the replacement for this deck. But yeah, Agamotto, a really good card in this deck. Lots of power, lots of fun with the skills as well. As you'll see, yeah, really is a fun deck to play in particular. So yes, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please leave a subscribe down below, leave a comment down below as well if you played this deck. Let me know how you get on, because yeah, got some really good gameplay highlights for you now, so please enjoy them and good luck. Cheers. Okay, cool. Should we start with Werewolf, Temporal Manipulation and Hunger in hand? If we can draw Joaquin, Torres, Falcon, that would be great. Of the cards that we would like to play with JTF, Hunger is obviously the most, depending on what their deck is. Deafening Chord as well, so I don't mind just dropping Temporal Manipulation now, that seems fine. There is Agamotto as well, got him out of our debt. Chimichanga, lovely. Chimichanga is actually useful for if we draw Zombie Scarlet Witch as well. That's another card that can go into that lane. Or next turn we play Werewolf and we just start doing our on-reveal stuff, for which Chimichanga counts as one as well actually. So it's King Eitri, so yeah, let's drop in Werewolf here. We can actually do this. This gives us more chance to get the extra energy. We don't get a merge, takes up space, but we're buffing power onto Werewolf. So it's Mole Man, hits the hood. That's a good hit. And they play the Chimichanga as well. So yeah, we are ahead by 1. Is that right? Yes. Cool, extra energy for us. Now, wins for 2. Okay. Images is obviously great for this Raptor lane, but we need to try to be able to get cards into it first. So what we can do, we'll have 2 turns as well for on-reveal shenanigans. We could get 3 werewolves. That seems fun. Do we do that? Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Because we've got a 5/13 Agamotto that we can use to try to win one lane with other stuff. But also, yeah, 3 werewolves that can move. Obviously, we're probably only going to move like 2 at a time, maybe, for the later turns. So just getting that extra power somewhere might actually be useful anyway. So they're winning this lane. So Ares wins by 1. Unbelievable. Okay, so it's Merlin. So, on reveal stuff. So we could drop the Agamotto now. And then see what we can do with the on reveals. And the spells. Just make even 1 spell here would move all the werewolves, and they would get a lot of power each from moving. That's, if it goes to 9, that's 27 power suddenly in this lane. Another spell can move them back as well. So let's see what else we can get if we can get another on reveal. It's bolts. Bolts. It's too late for bolts. I mean, we can we can still play bolts, but is that going to move enough of them? Because winds, I suppose we do want to play winds to get the energy down here. He's only going to move 2, because if we do this, we'll get 2 wolves moving here. Then the cord will bring the other 2 back, and then turn on the final play, all 3 will move back into this lane. I think that's right. The question is whether they can beat 16 in the middle. Let's give it a go. They haven't played middle. I think we have a chance just because these werewolves will move. So 2 of them move here. They both move back with Deafening Chord, which hits a raptor. It doesn't really matter about that. Then, how big is this lane going to be? Bolts doesn't do anything, but we've got an 11, 11 and a 7. It's 37 power. That is a lot. I think they thought they were safe there. And it's just a rock. Brilliant. Yeah, 37 power with triple Werewolf by Night. That is great. That is why Images of Ikonn is such a good spell in this deck, because it's got good targets, and because the spells aren't taking up a huge amount of space on the board. You can win with just a few cards. So yeah, this went really, really well. Very good. Okay, so King Eitri, Hunger and Images start. Not bad. Without power. Obviously that would be great with Zombie Mr. Fantastic. And potentially Zombie Sentry. So let's drop King Eitri right, just in case. Because yeah, any extra obviously power we can get to the Horde would be lovely. Abby is a card. Thank you very much. King Eitri. Do we play the Hunger now? Could do. I mean, we could play it here to see if the Horde goes mid, and it's only one card we've got to put onto it. We haven't played anything. That's obviously great for us, and we get Bolts of Born. And the Horde goes right, of course. That's again not bad if we draw a Zombie Sentry, but yeah, let's see what we can get. Like Vortex. So there is Zombie Sentry, so that's pretty good. So what we want to do is Zombie Scarlet Witch. They're not going for the Abbey either. They've turned it off. I don't mind that, actually. I don't mind that at all. They might be able to get a draw on it, but I think we're pretty happy with hitting Zombie Sentry for 2 effects. I think that's pretty good. And obviously the buff on Zombie Scarlet Witch as well. We can potentially, if we play Merlin next turn, turn off Limbo. We can also use Images of Ikonn into this lane because we have King Eitri and we have the Zombie Horde, so that's pretty good too. We have 2 Ice Cubes, and that's going to be a lot of energy for us next turn. And we've got Temporal Manipulation too, so we definitely want a Merlin. We definitely want to get Agamotto out as well. Bolts here is good for extra energy next turn. We haven't got a lot of cards. Obviously, we're going to draw a spell from Merlin. We could do Grandmaster into the Zombie Sentry as well. That's something. We're going to get a draw as well from the Abbey. So let's see what else we can draw. It's given us Werewolf. Might be a bit late for Werewolf. Let's see. We have, of course, got Agamotto, who is an absolute G at 530. Sarah for them. Right. Can we get Omniversal Presence from Merlin? It's Polymorph. So I think we definitely play Images here. We definitely play I think we play Grandmaster here. We move that Zombie Sentry mid, because then that is going to buff both of these Hordes on the right. And then we can still drop a Shameless Agamotto mid. That seems nice. I like this. We've got Polymorph if we need it for something. We've got Winds of a Tomb. They've got a lot of energy as well. A lot of cards. Next to Sarah, what are they playing? Cool. 26 power on the right lane. 15 power on the right lane is Wong. Copycat is Deafening Chord, which is our Grandmaster. That is fine. We don't mind that at all. They're going to do some Odin stuff, aren't they? So if they're doing Odin stuff, I mean, it means we have to hope they don't play anything, and we have to try and hit the Winds of the Tomb. Which we can do. That's absolutely fine. What we're then looking to do, there should be enough power mid, unless we want to do Werewolf, Polymorph the Ice Cube, North the Ice Cube, and we want Wolf to end up mid, so Omniversal Presence here, Winds of the Tomb here. We have priority as well, so if they don't play anything here, hopefully we can move the Wong, because I expect it to be Odin. Okay, cool. Can we move the Wong, please? Extra buffs on the Horde. Werewolf goes left. Omniversal Presence turns Limbo into Titan. That's fine now. Werewolf goes right. Winds of the Tomb hits Wong. No way. Werewolf goes mid. 31 1 power, Prodigy hits nothing, Gambit hits 1 card. I think it can be anything, that's absolutely fine. Hits the Werewolf after all that work. But still had enough power thanks to big Agamotto and being able to move all these cards about. But yeah, Images of Ikonn, fantastic for our Hordes. Agamotto at 13 power, and then yeah, Merlin at 5 thanks to Universal Presence, plus a zombie Sentry that we've already played. So yeah, but yeah, the stars of that were really Winds of Watum, because obviously that would have ruined. They would have got a lot of Gambit hits. They only have 1 card in hand, but obviously if it's a card that they can use to discard over and over again, we would have been in a lot of trouble. So yeah, thank you, Winds of Watum, great card. Okay, so Zombie Mr. Fantastic, Joaquin, Torres, and Zombie Giant Man. Pretty good start. We have the Hunger, so obviously that's going to go great with Joaquin, Torres, Falcon. They have played Yondu, which is going to hit King Eitri. Okay, that's fine. It's turned into Isan. Okay, that's interesting. Quantum Tunnel is very interesting as well. What we might want to do then is obviously play our cards into the right lane to pump cards into maybe Quantum Tunnel, and then if we do have to drop a card into Black Vortex, maybe with the Zombie Horde, we'll see what it is. So it's 0, it just turns into Chimera, and every more, so this is going to be Scar, Surta stuff, possibly. We don't have anything to destroy their cards with, so that's fine. Okay, so this is good because we have Zombie Mr. Fantastic and Hunger, so we can get this going right now. What lane does this go in? Rocket Raccoon hits nothing, and Mbaku swaps out for Hydro Bob. Okay, maybe this isn't the Scar Surge deck. Okay, so yep, double Hunger with a Zombie Mr. Fantastic, so our Horde is at 8 already. We've still got space here. Grandmaster, potentially good for... See, we could just do Zombie Giant Man, but then the problem with that is obviously we would need to play something into Black Vortex before. So, what do we want to play instead? And we would need to play Zombie Giant Man next turn, and then potentially Images of Ikonn with Grandmaster final turn. So we might need to play just Temporal Manipulation now, and we play it into Black Vortex, which is going to seem weird, I know, but because we can pump our Horde, because we can turn Joaquin, Torres, Falcon into Zombie Mr. Fantastic for the extra honor reveals on the Horde, this might work. So yeah, they're field mid as well, and because we're not playing mid, that's pretty good too. I'm just intrigued about what kind of deck this is. So yeah, Zombie Giant Man now, he's not going to look massive now, but I think our order is important for this because it's clear. Clear gets swapped out for 0, that's fine. Oh, I see, it's a clear deck, so they're trying to get Isan to pull out extra Flames of 14 and stuff like that. Zombie Scarlet, which is lovely, thank you very much, but I'm going to say no on this occasion. So it's Images of Ikonn. We can only activate the one Zombie Mr. Fantastic, but that's okay, because then we're going to Grandmaster. We need the Horde, obviously, to be enough left side, which it still might not be enough. They don't play anything there, but obviously they might have an Isan that they can play. So our Horde goes to 13, plus the Grandmaster hits. Let's do 18, and a Sunspot right does nothing. So yeah, very good. This is the kind of the Grandmaster Ikonn interaction that we wanted. Obviously it left us with 18 power in this lane, which was still enough. Ikonn didn't have anything else to draw, which was great. They played quite a lot into Quantum Tunnel, which made things a bit interesting for them. But yeah, obviously getting the Zombie Giant Man to 31 power. I think not a lot of people are expecting Grandmaster. They're expecting more Absman, and that's fine. But I think with this deck, having that option for turn 6 of Grandmaster with Images of Ikonn works really well. So yeah, that's a nice win. Horde, we start with Images of Ikonn, King Eitri, and Zombie Giant Man. And our opponent is snapping already. Interesting. Let's play King Eitri into this lane. We can go King Eitri into Merlin, and that seems pretty good. Moira X. I see what's about to happen here. They're going to destroy stuff, aren't they? See, why can't that have been the left location? I mean, they would have seen it, obviously, as well. King Eitri, let's draw a card, and let's play Merlin. Wolverine, yes, they're going to be destroying stuff, we understand. It's wins. If we have priority, we can move one of these cards into Wakanda. Do we have priority? Do we? Do we have priority? We do. Lovely. Wins a platoon. We have Joaquin Torres Falcon that we can play next turn, so I might just play Polymorph because King Eitri has done his service. Thank you very much. And that was really good, actually, drawing us wins. I think he drew that anyway. But yeah, definitely wins. Definitely Polymorph. Let's see what we can get. It's the Wolverine, not bad. Obviously with Moira X, they're still going to have to get their starting hand back. So they might have another Wolverine. It's Bucky. Ooh, okay. Forge. So it is going to be fucking Torres Falcon. Hunger. Temporal Manipulation. If we can get Grandmaster, obviously we can do the Zombie Giant Man combo, but we might also want some future. Or do we want extra energy, actually, because they might be getting that too. And we can spread our plays with this. So this, Hunger, Temporal Manipulation. We're holding off on the once and future, but we are getting more energy next turn, thanks to White Hot Room, so we don't necessarily mind that. Horde goes right, we don't necessarily mind that either. But yeah, we do need a body to play into Black Vortex, unless we're wasting a skill card. And obviously we don't want that to be Agamotto either. Right, what have they drawn? Soldier, of course. We can turn off... Wait, Zombie Sentry, that's pretty good, actually. The other problem is, obviously, if the 6-cost card becomes an on reveal, yeah, we need that body. Once in future actually gives us +2 energy, so if we do draw Grandmaster, we could do that play, but the other problem is we want to get Zombie Giant Man and or Agamotto down, I think, now. So I think we drop Agamotto now. Yeah, let's do this. Honshu, one of the worst targets I think we could have got. It is also yes, it is non-reveal, isn't it? Yeah. Enough said, Bob. Wolverine go right. They haven't played anything into Black Vortex either yet, so that's a pain. And it's Zombie Mist, fantastic. So with 9 energy, what can we do? We can turn these both into Hordes, which is 16 power. And we can, I think we're going to have to play Zombie Giant Man left and see if that's going to be enough. So that's going to be some power here. And then obviously 13 power mid is a lot, but it's what they get from Black Vortex then, isn't it? So yeah, Zombie Giant Man left. Do I just play mid? Am I overthinking this? Is 15 power mid fine? No, it's not, because if they drop a null, that's going to go above it, isn't it? So I think we need to try and win left, but I'm not sure. Is this going to be enough? I think it is. Let's see. 3 cards. So they're both going to get buffed from Zombie Giant Man. So there's what, 20 power. There's Carnage, which hits the Wolverine. Enough said, which goes mid. That's fine, so we're winning left. What does it become? Hella. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, cool. Yeah, we had to work that, but obviously that extra energy that we got from White Hot Room, but then obviously with all the cards that we could put down on the board as well. But yeah, Images of Ikonn doing work for us, getting one extra Horde that you're then buffing with these other cards as well, just works really well, and Zombie Giant Man was big enough to win that left lane. So yeah, really good. Okay, cool. Zombie Scarlet Witch, Bolts of Ballsack, and Images of Ikonn. Fantastic. The Grandmaster. Now the Grandmaster means if we are playing Zombie Giant Man for the Grandmaster play, that's going to have to be in the right lane. Just waiting on Zombie Scarlet Witch. That's Valentina, okay. This is Arisham. Red Hulk is obviously a great hit for them with Valentina. Black Vortex again, so yeah, Zombie Scarlet Witch mid. If the Horde can go left, I think that would be ideal. I mean, maybe, yeah, maybe you're right, doesn't matter. I don't think it matters too much. Let's see, we don't have... Okay. So what we need to do... Spells you have Deafening Chord doesn't do a lot. Extra energy next turn is obviously very good. So yeah, maybe we do this. We play a Deafening Chord now. We don't have any good targets. It's an Arisham deck, so they might not have specific things that we can try to get. So we're not going to win mid, I don't think. What this also gives us, though, is opportunity to put something into Black Vortex and get hopefully a 12-cost card that is decent. Vision is obviously going to give them some extra power as well. But what can we do? We have an Agamotto. We have Images. We have Merlin. Okay. Obviously, Deathlock sucks, but we could put Deathlock into the left lane. So, Zombie Mr. Fantastic, Deathlock lefts, maybe we just do Merlin Grandmaster. We don't have anything else to play, and I think we probably want to get a 6-cost card here and see what we can do. We can also potentially use Images of Ikonn if it is a good hit. Yeah, Red Hulk mid. They've gone heavy mid. Obviously they might be expecting right lane to be enough. Yeah, obviously we need to win left lane as well. That's great. What do we get? Thanos as well. Okay. Once in future. And we do get the Zombie Giant Man. It's not going to be enough, though, is it? Gains power equal to Zombie Horde. Maths is hard, so +1 power would be 11. That's going to go to 17. 17 plus 9. 26. So not enough. Images isn't quite enough either. Or we could maybe trust that with 10 can be enough here. We play the zombie giant man left. Potentially. They've played the Red Hulk already. But they are going to play here because they're going to have to play a card here first. Yeah, actually we get an extra butt hit with the Once and Future. So let's do this and see if it's going to be enough in the right lane. It's one card which is Marvel Boy, and it's one card which is Ghost. I think we are good, guys. I think we are good. So yeah, 13 power Horde, and a 17 power Zombie Giant Man, or 19. Didn't get that right. Oh, because it added the 2, didn't it, of course. But yeah, cool. 25 and 28 is good power. Obviously, yes, we got the Thanos from Black Vortex. They played their Red Hulk early into the mid lane to kind of lock that down, and then they were just trying to see if they could lock down these other one of these other two lanes, but yeah, they couldn't do it. And because we knew we were cooked mid, we could then focus on playing our cards left and right. So yes, a nice win.